back in my studio with another one. This time I am doing another mother of dress. This particular gown, an altering, could be for mother of the bride, mother of the groom, or any special occasion outfit. And we are doing a full layer chiffon hem. This is 2 layers, one with the lining and one with the outer. My first step on this 2-layered full gown is to press a line for the lining. And the lining, I usually press a line and stitch right on the line, trim close to the stitch line, and then proceed with the rolled hem. The outer, I do it a different way. I've seen people press the line, stitch on the line, and cut and roll, but I find that if you do that, her hem or the finished results will be shorter than what you pinned. Okay, so you definitely don't want it shorter. By seeing that happen, and customers do notice, so I will show you a different technique. For now, let's proceed in pressing the lining. And here we go. So what I'll do, I will do the hem first, and then sew the hem first, and then do the shoulders and side seams. I'm hanging the dress from, actually it's not from the chain, it is from a pipe on the ceiling. And I like to hang the dress vertically where I can see it, whether it's from a chain or something on the ceiling. Could even be a ceiling fan or a dress mannequin. And I like to see how I pinned and check out the hang of the dress. So what I like to do, and I also use this technique and show my new hires. One of the first projects, or one of the first things that I teach them, is how to do this rolled hem. Because we get so many of them, they can do it, they can perfect it, learn how to do it, and learn also how to be productive in doing it. But one thing that I require is that they don't press a line here, that they pay attention to the fold, and they stick a pin right in and out, right on that fold. And you're going to go maybe 3-4 inches apart as you're pinning. As I mentioned earlier, I don't want to sew on the fold, cut, and then roll it up, because what you will be doing is making the finished hem shorter than what you originally pinned, and that shortness could be about 1/4 of an inch or even 1/2 inch, so you definitely don't want that. Nobody likes a gown that is too short unless it's done intentionally. My hem is all pinned and ready to stitch. So remember when the dress was hanging from the pipe, we dropped 1/4 of an inch, turned, and we pinned in the direction in which we're going to sew. So I forgot to mention that as you was dropping. That was the purpose of dropping it and turning it this way. So now it's almost like pin basting. So it's dropped 1/4 of an inch. Now we're going to stitch a straight stitch close to the edge, also known as the edge stitch. If you need to change your needle and use the appropriate thread, now is the time. So the edge of the fabric, edge of the fold is being guided along the inner edge of the presser foot. Okay? So you want a thin baby, what we call baby hem or narrow hem. I like to hold taut sometimes. Not pulling, but just holding so that the thread won't bunch up or scrunch up. Because parts of this dress will go off grain and a little bit on a bias. Not necessarily a true bias, but it will change grain. And that is, for that reason, that's why I don't use the rolled hem attachment. There is a foot for the sewing machine. I have never been able to do a perfect hem with that. I think that in factories, the machine is normally set up for a particular garment because they're doing they're mass producing garments. The machine is set up for the fabric type, thread type, and garment type. As a individual sewer, it will be too much to always have to adjust the machine to accommodate each fabric type. So that's why we choose this type of rolled hem. I believe it's more controlled than using a rolled attachment. I use the rolled attachment if I'm sewing something from scratch and it's on the straight grain. And believe it or not, I also find that the home machine attachment works a lot better than the industrial machine attachment. What do you guys think? Yeah, put a comment in the comment section if you tried the rolled hem attachment and if you were successful at it. I have different sizes. I've tried so many different ways, it just doesn't work. Especially when you get to a side seam and you gotta go over the hump. It doesn't feed well for me. Again, this is a more controlled hem. Look how beautiful. Look at the stitch. So I'm doing my edge stitch on the outer, and then I will switch and do edge stitch on the lining, and I'll show you the difference. When I'm busy, usually this machine is cranked up, and I usually go a lot faster than this during prom season or peak bridal season. I am working like a maniac. Some people do like surge and then turn. I do that sometimes, but not on a soft fabric like this one. I do that maybe on a gown, a full evening gown that is made out of taffeta. or like a lightweight taffeta or something similar to a lightweight taffeta, the serge and turn works really well. The only thing when I serge and turn, I don't do a 1/4 of an inch. I still do the edge stitch. So you'll have a serge edge and then the stitch will be on the edge, and it looks really, really pretty. Just going by, my door is still open. Still getting that fresh air. So the only time I drop more than a 1/4 of an inch is if I'm working with a bias cut dress. I will drop instead of a 1/4 inch in preparation during the preparation stage. I'll go as far as like a 1/2 inch or even 3/4 of an inch. What I find is with the bias cut dress, it becomes really springy. So if you only go that 1/4 of an inch, I don't know. For me personally, I think that the end result, the hem looks too short. I don't know. Okay, we're at the end. Now that our hems are all stitched up, we did our very first pass on the outer and on the lining. Now we're going to cut. In cutting, depending on the fabric, I sometimes use nice sharp small trimmer scissors. You want to be careful because it's very easy to kind of snip through the line. So I create like almost a table effect with my hand, 4 fingers, and then my thumb is holding down the actual hem.
It's very full hem. This hem is rippling. If you wanted to, you could go to the iron to press it flat so that it will make it a little easier for you to cut, but I'm not going to do that. Try to finger press it to straighten it out.
I like to do a press on every part sewn during the alteration process. So I'm starting with the lining. Beautiful rolled, beautiful professional rolled hem.